Okay. We're going live now, so. Okay. We think we are, again.
I got an icon at top says it's live on YouTube.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, mine too.
Good enough.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah, it'll open up another icon on your screen. Yeah, I can see it. Looks good. It's the exact same thing we're looking at.
Oh, you're on,
Yeah,
we are too. Can't find it yet, so.
Top right corner.
I had to go split screen.
Okay.
All right.
I'm on my computer though, so.
It is 7 o'clock.
Okay.
I would like to call this meeting, the April 27th, 2020 board meeting to order, please.
It's
Roll call.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes, here.
Mr. Frickin?
delayed.
Here,
Mr. Frucci,
here.
Mr. Hager,
Here.
Miss Kell. Here. Mr. Lozier,
Here.
Miss Mars,
Here.
Mr. Marshman,
Does it count if I'm watching a John Wayne movie?
you're still here, good. Miss Place,
Here.
Mr. Samantare,
Yes,
Mr. Stexshorty.
Here.
first item on the agenda is the approval of the suspension of policy regarding public participation in board meetings due to the stay-at-home order in the state of Ohio and maintain safe distancing.
No move.
Second.
Dennis and Penny.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Frickin,
Yes.
Miss Kell,
Yes.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Frucci,
Yes.
Mr. Hager,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier,
Yes.
Miss Mars,
Yes.
Mr. Marshman,
Yes.
Miss Place,
Yes.
Mr. Samantare,
Yes,
Mr. Stexshorty.
Yes.
item 5, entertain a motion to put the treasury's report on the floor.
We missed number 4.
What is number 4? Oh, yeah, the approval of the minutes.
So moved, Todd.
I'll second that, Ned.
Questions, comments, corrections to the minutes? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hager,
Yes.
Mr. Stexshorty,
Yes.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Fricki,
Yes.
Mr. Frucci,
Yes.
Miss Kell,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier,
Yes.
Miss Mars,
Yes.
Mr. Marshman,
Yes.
Miss Place,
Yes.
Mr. Samantare.
Yes. Now we'll get to item 5, the treasurer's report. Motion to put the treasurer's report on the floor.
So moved.
Second.
Ron, yes.
Brad and Bob second.
You're up.
Okay, well, welcome tonight. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Horner for doing such a great job over these last couple months. He's been a great leader in all of this and continues to be so. So great job, Mr. Horner, and thanks for all you do. Our finances to point on our October forecast are on track, which is great, but I'm sure you've all started to hear the rumblings, across the state with school financing. We're waiting to hear if we're going to get cut yet this fiscal year. So that would be our May payment and our June payment of this year. We're hearing around 2.5%, but again, this is all hearsay. So I don't want to go too deep into it until we actually get final numbers or if they even do anything. That cut here towards the end of the fiscal year, we'll still be able to run pretty close to our forecast that we put out in October. In May, we'll be updating the forecast. I'm going to hold off as long as I can to see what kind of information we can get out of the state before we roll that. But at the May meeting, we will be approving that 5-year forecast. We are hearing cuts next year are likely, if not probably going to happen. We just don't know the amount yet. Again, we would love to have them before our forecast next month, but if not, we'll just go with our best guess of what we're hearing. We're hearing around 10%, could be higher, could be lower. Just to keep in perspective, Apollo, 10% of state funding for Apollo would equal $600,000. So that kind of sets that in perspective of what a 10% cut at the state level would mean to us. We are very fortunate. We have a great support from our taxpayers. So therefore, that start of our funding, will be based on real estate taxes yet. We do not have an income tax. So in that side, we are fortunate due to, unfortunately, a lot of people are unemployed right now. So only time will tell on school funding in the future, but Mr. Horner and I will continue to watch this and study this, and we'll keep you up to date as we hear things coming out of Columbus. For the treasurer staff, we're keeping things business as normal. We're running our daily operations mostly from home, but we slide in there to do what we have to on site. And my staff's been very great to keep everything up and running on that side. So until we get some more further numbers, we'll kind of call that an update for now, but you'll be hearing from us and we'll have a full update in May to see how far the legislators get. Following in our report, of course, we're going to be approving our February and March financials due to the fact that our March meeting was canceled. Therefore, you'll see both of those. We'll have an appropriations amendment on here and some grants. We had a $140,000 Jobs Ohio industrial maintenance grant. We're going to use that for equipment and supplies in our electrical programs and a couple other of our DAWDED programs. So that was exciting to receive that. That'll help with the startup of our high school electrical program also next year. And then our Aspire program received an extra $4,000 towards expenditures this year. They run a really good program over there, and we gained a little extra money to use the rest of the year. And that is all I have.
If we were to lose 600,000, would we still have a positive operating?
So the forecast right now for this year, we think we'll be in the black about 500,000, but next year's forecast was estimated to be about flat. So we'll have to take all things into consideration. We do have a few retirees coming up and some modifications, but also we audit our electrical program. So we're going to dig into that deeper here. On the expense side, we did get a little bit of.
I think somebody has their YouTube on. It's throwing the feedback on. Somebody's feedback is coming through YouTube, I bet.
So to conclude that, Ned, next year we were projecting about right here, so we'll have to deal with that 600,000 as it comes in. We are financially healthy, so that helps to weather storms like this. However, we'll definitely want to take a look and be on the front line of making sure we don't deficit spend too hard.
Okay.
Okay, now you got. Go ahead, Willie, sorry.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I mute everybody.
Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Frucci? You say yeah? You're muted, Brad.
Yes.
Mr. Lozier?
Yes.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes.
Mr. Fricke?
Yes.
Mr. Hager?
Yes.
Ms. Kill?
Yes.
Ms. Mars?
Yes.
Mr. Marshman?
Yes.
Ms. Place?
Yes.
Mr. Samantha,
Yes.
Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Item 6, new and recommended matter. We have under A, personnel, contract action, salary notices and authorizations. We have a couple resignations. We have the adult education employee pay rates for next year. We have supplemental assignments compensation for next year. Administrative, we have approval of administrative contract for 5 individuals. We have the hiring of a language arts teacher for next year. And we have an addition here, Tiffany Randall, is insert the word year contract. And on the next one is hire Luke Noggle for electrical systems technology on the salary schedule A10. And the rest is substitutes, a whole bunch of them. That takes us down to classified. And we have classified substitutes as all printed on the agenda. May I have that motion, please?
So moved. Penny.
Second.
Penny was the first. I didn't hear the second.
I'll second.
Ned,
Ned, okay, thank you.
Discussion comments on all the items.
No, we're happy to do some hiring, even uncertain time, but we're happy to get Lucas, Tiffany, and Emily. Emily's replacing the retired. Emily's replacing Jennifer Stapleton's retired. Tiffany Randall is replacing Ruth Nichols, and Lucas Noggle is, starting our new electrical program. Happy to have all them on board as well. And then, having a retirement in Connie Klima, who's been here a long time. She's been a really great employee. So congrats to her on her next phase in life. That's all really.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Kill,
Yes.
Mr. Sextro,
Yes.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Fricky,
Yes.
Mr. Frucci,
Yes.
Mr. Hager,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier,
Yes.
Ms. Mars,
Yes.
Mr. Marshman,
yes,
Ms. Place,
Yes.
and Mr. Samantinger.
Yes. Under item B, administrative contract, motion to award a 3-year contract to Nick Samantinger.
So moved. Denny.
Second, Todd.
Discussion, questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Fricky,
Yes.
Mr. Hager,
Yes.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Frucci,
Yes.
Ms. Kill,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier,
Yes.
Ms. Mars,
Yes.
Mr. Marshman,
yes,
Ms. Place,
Yes.
Mr. Samantinger,
Abstain.
and Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Item C, new business. Motion to put the Justin Van Drivers physicals, the Allen County Health Consortium privacy, the update and revision of board policies, the distance learning resolution, and the 3 of understandings, which include attachment D, all is printed on the agenda. So that motion, please.
So move. Ron?
I'll second, Brad.
Question, comments? Hearing none, we have the roll call, please.
Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
Mr. Fruity,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Brittany,
Yes.
Mr. Hager,
Yes.
Ms. Kill,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier,
Yes.
Ms. Mars,
Yes.
Mr. Marshman,
yes,
Ms. Place,
Yes.
Mr. Samentinger,
Yes.
and Mr. Sextro.
Yes.
Item 7, reports and information. Anybody from the members of the Board of Education have anything?
Yeah, I would like to shout out to Keith for helping Interim Healthcare with supplying us with masks. It was so much needed and we can't say enough. So thank you, Keith.
You are welcome. We were glad to help. We gave masks, and we're also making the shields as well. I'll talk about that in a minute in my report. So,
Yeah,
Really?
that was awesome.
Anyone else from the Board of Education?
We're working on plans to give our students a graduation. They're probably going to be delayed until middle of June, if not later. But with our football field and facilities, we could space people out enough. We limit the crowd to give them that minute that they need to make it sort of normal. So I'm sure our superintendents all been discussing. I know Nick has been with all Putnam County, but I feel that's more important than anything right now is giving them an actual ceremony, not virtual. But we're fortunate we're small. We're not big like Wapak or Shawnee or Elida, you know.
Anyone else from the board have anything? I have 3 little items off the data. Prom, we've rescheduled prom June 17th. We'll be able to have it at that date for our young people, and we'll keep you updated. Second legislation, May 20th was our regular scheduled date. We will have a virtual graduation that will be broadcasted. Asking each senior to send a picture down, and we will honor each in the program. If anyone has questions, they should contact Nick. We also have determined the back date of August 1st at the high school. And lastly, we want to congratulate our apologists. We'll continue to work over the break to earn certificates and licenses. We know these difficult times, but students and teachers continue to persevere. And lastly, I'm welcome to like to thank Keith Warner for his exemplary leadership in these tough times.
Okay.
Keith, you're up.
okay, it's me now. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, all of you, to the board as well for doing this. This is obviously uncomfortable. Kind of like trying to teach career tech, to be honest, with hands-on when you're not together. Really hard to do. But a hats off to our teachers, career tech and academic, and all our administrators. To be honest, our whole staff has been wonderful. I want to thank everybody for all that they've done pitching in. That's true. I know just from talking to superintendents weekly, that's what they're doing as well. So probably my most biggest message is thank you to everybody. We are working on a plan to fire up adult ed. That adult ed will be starting new classes here soon, or finishing classes and starting new classes. We're trying to work with them as best we can. And we're also working on a plan to kind of close down the high school. We still have kids with stuff in their lockers, so we're gonna have to have some mechanism to do that. So we're working on those things too. I did, and Penny mentioned it, but I do have letters from Penny's organization and also from Lima Memorial. We gave stuff to Shawnee Manor. We also gave stuff to Lima, St. Rita's as well. So hats off to Mike Dickey, our automated manufacturing technology teacher. Mike's our 3D printer guru, and our 3D printer makes about 20 shields a day that we put together and deliver. So hats off to him for doing that. That's been really nice to be able to really feel that we're helping those people who are most directly impacted, like at the hospitals and interim healthcare and, Shawnee Manor, those types of things. So we're really happy to be able to do that. Also want to thank or congratulate Jody Benda that you may have seen. Jody earned the Torch Award from Ohio Department of Education. Jody's an outstanding career tech educator and just is really meaningful to her kids. She won that award. So hats off to her for her and kind of representative of all the teachers we have here. The other thing I want to mention, like Ned mentioned, we have not given up on having some form of graduation. It may be, we don't know what it'll look like yet. We really don't know when it will occur yet, but we're hopeful to try to honor these kids because we feel that they deserve it in some way. And that is, we're hoping to do an in-person thing. Obviously, a lot of things have to fall into place probably for that to happen. But with that, that's all I got, Willie. Let me there.
Okay, thank you, Keith. Moving on to 8, executive session. We have no need for an executive session tonight. So we will move to adjournment.
Willie,
Yes,
can we set the time for the May board meeting? Currently, it's saying it will be held directly after our award ceremony, and with the unscheduled of that certain currently, can we just set that at 7 p.m. for the same day?
it's okay with everybody else. It suits me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Works.
Yeah. Okay, we'll note that in our minutes and have that for the media. And thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn, Denny.
Second, Bob.
Anybody that doesn't want to. Roll call, please.
Mr. Fricke,
Yes.
Mr. Lozier, Mr. Fleming,
Yes.
She's right after Dan Marshall.
Mr. Frucci,
Yes.
Mr. Hager,
Yes.
Ms. Kill,
Yes.
Ms. Mars,
Yes.
Mr. Marshman, Ms. Place,
Yes.
Mr. Samentinger,
Yes,
Mr. Sexualty.
Yes.
meeting is adjourned at 7:22.
Thank you all very much. Good to see you. Hope to see you in person next month.
For sure.
Todd, what you cooking over there?